Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to, effectively the end of season one. I hadn't actually planned to do this, but with a lot of things that's kind of gone on, personally, with work, home life, everything like that, it's kind of been a bit of a struggle to actually be able to find the time, not only to just do the racing but do the recording and everything like that. So I think what's going to happen is until things maybe change, maybe next year I'll try again with the F1 games and see if things work out, or later on in the year, everything like that. But for the moment I think we're just going to kind of do a season review, and then just the pre-season stuff ready for the next season. So we've just done the Abu Dhabi race. I didn't actually end up finishing that race, just didn't have the motivation or anything to do that. We weren't doing particularly well anyway, so I'm just kind of like just going to deal with it. But we're actually going to, having hired Tictum in the first half of the race, I've hired Show in the second half of the race just because he was slightly cheaper than Schwartzman. So I thought we'll go with Show just so that we can try and maximise our money for season one as best as we can. What we're actually going to do, and unfortunately, so I was actually going to hire David Coulthard. However, as trying to maximise the money as best as I can, it's the reason we're not keeping Joe. I'm actually going to go with Massa. Just if DC hadn't ticked over to Acclaim 12, we would have hired him for 4 mil. Because he is, although he's got slightly less experience, the slightly better of the two drivers. But we're going to go with Felipe Massa. Should be able to sign him pretty easily. A little bit of a spoiler, but our best result was second this season, but we'll get to that back in a minute. And we have signed Felipe Massa, so we're going to have a nice boost of resource points coming in for next season as part of the experience bonuses that we get with the better drivers. Fernando Alonso has now retired from the sport. That was one of the big things that came through. He was going to be supporting. We had a nice big aero package, chassis, engine. We had quite a few upgrades coming for the last race of the season. Fortunately, a couple of them failed just before Australia. But that does mean that we finish as the 6th best team, so right in the mid-pack. Not too bad. Had to take a few engine penalties and everything else. I accidentally took an extra MGUH unit, which I didn't actually mean to. But I think in might be in Mexico, I accidentally went through qualifying with a really odd power unit. So I thought, well, if I'm going to refit that, I should probably get some, extra components. But in terms of durability, we've been doing pretty well. We have actually got a regulation change as part of that, which is the durability side. We have managed to save everything though, so the performance isn't going to change too much between seasons, but in terms of durability we will definitely be seeing some teams drop down a bit. Second worst aero, definitely going to focus on aero for the next season. Decent chassis, don't probably have to worry about that too much. We will have the joint second best power unit, we do now currently. Fundamentally going into next season we're going to just see what's available for us, and we're doing pretty decently on durability, so let's just check over into the standings. We have actually hit claim 15, we hit that just after the Australian Grand Prix. These sponsors I've been keeping with. We have also completed our primary sponsor objective. In terms of finance history, I'm not going to go through any of that. So Lewis Hamilton won the Drivers' Championship. He actually won that at the penultimate round in Australia. Looks like we've got a little bit of spoilers here for where everybody's going for next season. Max Verstappen finished second with Bottas and Sergio Perez third and fourth. Carlos Sainz is retiring? Wait, what? either Sainz doesn't have a drive for next season, or he's retiring. I haven't seen a retiring, so we're going to go to the press interview and we're going to kind of skip through to next season now. I had no idea about why Sainz hasn't got anything.
Other teams have invested more in their facilities than you have. Are you happy with what you have, or is there a cash flow issue?
We're happy with this. We're upgrading when we need to.
Isn't it safe to say you focused heavily on driver development?
Drives on investment, just anything to boost our acclaim. No team orders, even though you can't give team orders anyway.
Are you happy here, or will you be aiming to challenge the top teams in the near future? Well, thanks a lot for inviting us here. It's been fantastic.
Okay. So let's skip through to season 2. Check out all the driver changes and everything like that. I didn't actually necessarily know that they was going to come up. So yeah. Oh, we're going to boost level game 12. Oh, we're going to finish at, oh, just shy of level 17, so don't quite get a little bit of bonus. 17 mil coming in. So yeah, finished 6th in the Drivers' Championship. Got a second in Mexico. Bits and bobs kind of helped out with that. A late safety car, driver retirements. Yeah, apart from that, we had a pretty decent.
Team's income is looking very robust right now.
I don't know what I'm being told about this.
It's time for you to have a think about our profit margin and what areas of the operation might benefit from that money.
It's a brand new season. We haven't even selected the tracks that we're doing yet, and we've already been told to invest in the money, even though we can't get to that page. Yeah, so last episode out, we were in France. Austria, we didn't do too bad. Britain and Hungary definitely struggled. Belgium was a little bit better, but not that great. Netherlands managed to sneak a couple points in. Italy had a bit of a wildness in terms of the AI kite making quite a few mistakes, actually. In Italy, especially on the DRS. So, sneaked to 5th. Russia and Singapore were okay. Japan was a bit of a struggle. USA, we did alright. Mexico finished 2nd. Brazil struggled again. Australia didn't do... I did alright in Australia, I think. Did squeeze a couple more points in, which was nice. And then finished off the season in Abu Dhabi. Although I only got about halfway through the season, and I was just... yeah, done with that. So we are going to run with China. Not going to run Monaco. I don't find Monaco that much of an enjoyable Grand Prix. We were, we did finish 4th, which was our best result for a couple of races. But yeah, we're going to add in China. Running with Portugal now. This is season 2, and Portugal's been added. And then taking out Monaco for this season. And clothing. We're actually going to run a different clothing set this time around. Team details, let's have a look at our sponsor objectives. 100. I think we might go with Quest this time around. We're definitely going to be able to challenge for points more regularly. I doubt we'll finish. No, we could finish potentially 3rd. But for the sake of it this time around, we're actually going to go with Quest. Let's look at. So if we want to be cheap, could go with Honda. Looks like Ferrari have got slightly better durability from that, or we could go for the Mercedes power unit. Get a nice boost in engine performance for free, and we'll have better durability as well. So I think we're going to do with that. Stick the power unit in as a Mercedes, try and keep the best one that we can go for currently. That's kind of always been my thought process for that. It does add an extra 2 million to the budget as well, because we're spending we're getting a 5.6 signing bonus, but we are losing 3.6 from the engine. I'm going to run a different livery set this time around. I'm actually going to go with this one, which my lovely girlfriend designed for me. personal stickers with that personal sticker on our halo. So yeah, just running with the primal, I think it is, and might have to change a little bit of the colours depending on how they look on the car, with all the sponsor decals and everything like that. But this is season 2. And right, facility upgrading. So we're going to go with a sponsors upgrade. Level 2, and chassis needs to go level 2 aero, and level 2 quality control with those two. So durability is one of the cheapest ones we can go with. Probably could have done with, definitely need to upgrade the power unit area I think for next season. Sorry, at least during this season. And I don't think we need to really upgrade that stat. And what we've got 1.96 mil to go with, so I think we yeah, let's upgrade our pace stat as well, for Massa. So we're going into the season now as the 5th best team, which will be good. And looks like our rear aero has gone on the car, which we put on just before the last race of the season, but didn't actually go onto the car yet. And in terms of chassis, a bit of plank, so we might have one minor upgrade coming in mid-season. Apart from that, engine's not looking too bad as it's relatively cheap. Fortunately can't quite get it on in time before Bahrain, but we'll get it on before China. And it looks like we've managed to keep everything else. Got a few general upgrades already in terms of durability, and just as it's surprisingly one of the easiest components to wear, we're going to go with the control electronics. Looks like that's going to come on just before, which will be good, just before Bahrain, so that will hopefully not wear out quite as much. Actually, let's have a quick check where we stand. So aero, definitely one of the upgrades that we're going to one of the areas we're going to focus heavily on for season 2, not just with drag reduction but just downforce in general. Trying to get the DRS on, well, when season 2 rocks around. If I can get that one on straight away, then we'll definitely get the major DRS upgrade on. Our chassis is not too bad. I'll probably look towards maybe the end of the season if it becomes the weaker area to just try and get that upgraded, but I think it's going to be durability and aero we're definitely going to focus on the most. And yeah, right, let's go to the driver market. Teams. So Alfa Romeo, Kimi Räikkönen has not retired yet, so it looks like Alfa Romeo and Alpha Tauri both keep their original lineups. God, how has Tsunoda's focus that bad already? Carlos Sainz has moved to Alpine to go along, replace the departing Fernando Alonso. Looks like Aston Martin have stayed the same. What was Charles Leclerc thinking? Nikita Mazepin has joined Ferrari in a swap deal with Charles Leclerc. Wow. Okay then, moving on. McLaren still the same sign up. Guan Yu Zhou has been given a chance at Mercedes, so it looks like we're going to be battling our former teammate in season 2. Valtteri Bottas has joined Red Bull to replace the departing Max Verstappen, and Zhou has obviously been filled into Bottas' seat. Sergio Perez has stayed. Massa has joined us. Williams have retained the same lineup. And there we go. Interesting choices by Ferrari. Verstappen in, not that I've released it yet, but Verstappen in my 10 season simulated was absolutely deadly at Ferrari. So it's definitely a good choice for them. He'll be a solid companion throughout. Be interesting to see how long he kind of stays there for. But Mazepin was an interesting choice. When Mazepin actually joined McLaren in like season 8, having spent 7 seasons at Haas and then immediately retired afterwards. So maybe Mazepin's going to retire at the end of the season. You know, you can never quite know with all this that's going on. But yeah, so that's going to kind of wrap it up for this Season 1 review / Season 2 pre-season. 6th in the drivers, 6th in the constructors, just about held on. It's going to be an interesting Season 2, especially with the durability shake-up. It does seem like durability is quite a demanding factor on the teams, and how that can actually affect everybody going forwards. Even though I had it in one season where the durability got affected, and Mercedes, even though Ferrari and McLaren were like one of the bottom ones because they had the top durability, it was them two fighting it out for the entire season. So durability does play a factor, even though it won't show that on performance. So it's going to be an interesting Season 2. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you for what might be a mid-season recap, otherwise it will be the end of Season 2 recap. Until next time.